About 15-20 is all 7 days. Okay. And what do you guys eat or drink, or what do you do before you come for the training sessions? Anybody would like to answer? Nobody. Okay. That's at what time?
After lunch only.
Okay. So no morning training sessions basically.
On morning we do fitness. So before fitness we take nuts and banana. After workout, omelette
Okay.
or millet or protein shake. Maybe.
Okay. And what do you drink when you come here? Is there any water, electrolytes?
We drink electrolyte.
Okay. It's a normal electrol. Okay. What do you the training sessions?
We consume whey protein
Okay.
or oat smoothie.
Okay. All right. And that's followed by milk and stuff like that. Right. Okay. Anybody who thinks normal general nutrition are the same as the sports athletes, or they are different compared to a normal individual? Anybody would like to say one or two differences? Or do you all think that the nutrition is the same for the sports athletes and for the general population, like you, who doesn't work out, who doesn't have a training session? Do you all think it's the same, or it's different? It has to be different.
Actually different.
Okay. Why?
Because we do a lot of work outside and normal people sit in office.
Okay.
They don't do anything.
So energy expenditure is different, right? And only the energy expenditure, or is there any other strategic approach you have to be considered? Anybody? Nobody would like to speak up? Let's have a very practice session. Okay, you can ask any questions also. Anyone from here also? From here at the back? No? Anybody from the side? I think I'll ask parents, and I think they will answer better. Alright. So, can you just put a little more of introduction in the so you can ask me questions by raising your hand. So basically, when it comes to sports nutrition, it is completely different in terms of your nutrition that is even normal nutrition. And you rightly mentioned one thing is very important. Right? So morning, evening, you are training 7 days out of the 7 days you are training. 4 hours in a day you are training. Then you have events, you have matches. You go. So every day your energy expenditure are high. But that's not only the thing that your nutrition plan is different from a normal individual. Okay. So what you have to do, energy expenditure is there. You have to be better in terms of your mental focus as well, or it has to be just the energy going. It has to be mental focus as well, right? Do you want to be injury free? Do you have to look into the injury prevention as well? Nobody would like to get injured and sleep for bed rest for 3 months, 2 months, right? And you all know once you stop, once you are having an injury, you go into a bed rest, you will have to restart again, right? Slowly. It's not like you are completely recovered today and you can just tomorrow straight away start, right? It's going to take a little more time for you to get back to the routine and slowly get again. So, injury prevention could be another strategic approach. What about recovery? Anybody would like to say about the recovery, how important it is? No? Nobody wants to? How important the recovery is for you guys? Nobody. I think that also I asked the parents and they will nice to all the recovery process. Recovery is very important, right? There are no recovery overnight. How do you go for the next day session? See, now you may be like around the age of, like I first asked you, what age do you all have? You will have a lot of mental power, mental willpower that you will still go the next day, even if you have a muscle soreness, muscle tightness. When you if you have a joint pain, muscle pain, you can go for it. Right? But on day-to-day basis, you have to ensure that your recovery is good. Okay? How do we know whether your recovery is good? Do you guys have a Fitbit or do you guys have a oximeter which you generally use during the work times to see your heart rate? How much is my resting heart rate? Anybody takes care on the heart rate? Being a sports, being a professional sports athlete, anybody is taking care of the heart rate. Every morning, getting up, checking the heart rate, how is my recovery rate? That's number one. The lower the resting heart rate, the better your body recovery is. Okay? So what you guys have to do? Nothing, you don't have to wear very fancy watch or Apple Watch, Fitbit or anything. Just get the oximeter which is available at normal pharmacies. Okay, you get up. As soon as you get up, before you start doing anything, just put in your intake stream. Then you will see what is the resting heart rate. The higher the resting heart rate, you are not recovering. Your body is dealing with a lot of inflammation. Okay, that's how you get to know the recovery process. And one more mental clarity as well. Do you have to be mentally focused or do you have to be distracted when you're playing? Huh? Mentally focused, right? So how can you be mentally focused? Recovery has to be good. You have to eat well, you have to drink well, you have to rest very well, right? And how many of you take a lot of stress? A lot of stress that okay, he is playing cricket, he's taller than me, he can play that much. I cannot I am not able to match the way that he's playing. How many of you take a lot of stress, a lot of thoughts, while you are doing the event or doing the training sessions? Anybody? Or everyone is enjoying the process of training, whatever the coach is, asking you to do this, do that in the sessions? Anybody stressed? No? आपको किसी को stress होता है ज़्यादा, competitive stress ज़्यादा होता है? What? I think everybody manages stress very well. I think only the parents take the stress of okay, they are doing well, they are not doing well. Yeah? Okay. So first thing is deep difference, right? And those who are below the age of 18, you are at the growing age, right? And some are very tall, some are very short, right? First thing, it does comes from the genetic as well, right? Or genetic history of your parents, your mom, dad. But how can we improve? Anybody has an answer for that? How can we also improve? Nobody? Nobody from here? We can improve by nutrition as well, right? So what happens is when you are training, even when you have high calorie intake, high amount of food, most of your energy levels goes into your training. So if you are not taking care of it, at growing age, you get hampered in your growing the clothes part, right? That's the second thing, which you have to be completely different in terms of the normal individual who is not working very hard or who is not doing any training. So that's the second thing. You are at the growing age, you have to make sure you are doing a good amount of food. Plus, what are those superfoods that increases your height? Anybody knows one or two superfoods which helps in the height? Anybody would like to say? There are few superfoods that really help increase in the height during the growth spurt period. Anybody has any idea? No? Nobody? Yeah? Okay, I'll tell you 2-3 superfoods. Okay? Everybody likes tomato. Tomatoes are okay with all of you? Tomato juice, number one. Right? First thing in the morning when you wake up and have a glass of tomato. That will really, really increase your height at the growing age. Okay? But since if there is always a little bit of negative side and the positive side, make sure you just remove the seeds of the tomatoes. Okay? Again, just make sure, at least for the juice of the tomatoes, use the organic. Because nowadays, how many fertilized fruits, vegetables are available out there, right? So first thing when you wake up to have a glass of tomato juice, really helps. Why it helps in the high pro? Because they have a active compounds called GABA, GABA. Okay, this is how it helps in the growth spurt. That's number one. Okay, do you all want to know number two? Yeah. All right. So the second one is called the alpha sprouts. Have you all heard about alpha sprouts? It's called the alpha sprouts, right? It's nothing fancy. It's easily available in the market as a type of lentils. You just have to go get it, wash it, and then you roast it very lightly, grind it, keep it in a one okay. Every time you do the breakfast or dinner, you include 1 tablespoon each of them, either in your dal, in your sabzis, or in your rice. Okay, that also helps. And you guys want to know more about the high pro, or that's enough? I think that's enough. Okay. Okay. All right. So the high pro is what you have to take care during this period of your growth spurt. Okay, because this is very important. And so we are done on the emerging calorie intake. We are done on the high pro. How many of you think very importantly that hydration is a must? Hydration. Anybody would like to say about the hydration levels? How important it is? Nobody wants to say? It's very important, right? What happens when you don't drink enough water? Any side effects? Anybody can tell me? Let's talk from there also. Anybody? What happens when the hydration is not, when your water intake is not good? Okay, blackout goods, blackout is there. We also, so basically the blackouts can also happen because of the, like you said, the dehydration where it hampers on your mental focus and clarity. All this gets hampered and you black out, right? And what else? Only blackout? Do you think it affects on recovery? Or recovery is not something to do with the hydration levels? Huh? Yes, yes, very important. Dehydration can give you a muscle cramp, right? What you guys have to do is you have to do one experimentation, okay, anytime, whenever you get a chance. So we have a rubber band, right, where we use that thin black one. Take in the morning, take it out outside and keep it there the whole day. In the evening, come back to dry stretch. That's exactly how our muscles is. When you dehydrate your muscles, they are very prone to injury. The recovery will get compromised. The muscle soreness will be there for sure. That's it. Any other pointers? Any other nice pointers for the dehydration? What happens? Yes, muscle fatigue, definitely yes, because the muscle is not getting enough of dehydration, enough of sleep. That's it. Anybody? Okay. Do you think so? We talk about how important is water intake, right? But does it need to be plain water, or the sports athlete or professional sports athletes need an electrolytes? Is it just the plain water sufficient? Okay. Electrolytes is also important, right? And we see, I'm gonna see what we are going to do is we have to create a child communication. Okay, we have to create a child communication. Feel free to come any time in the weekdays for your body assessment. We'll get your body assessment and how much is your muscle. First of all, we'll check the height. How much is your fat percentage? How much is your muscle percentage? How much is your visceral fat? You know, how is the muscles or the fat of your segment? That will be determined. So feel free to come in there. Okay, we'll just need the daily address also. So that's it. And electrolytes. Anybody do a little more research on the electrolytes and doing a proper electrolytes, or it is just that ORS, the electral, or just the nimbu pani with salt, sugar, and all? Who all are doing that? Or just the plain water? Or anybody eating chia seeds and for extra hydration and bring did you guys bring to the training sessions? No? Nobody? Nobody drinks water in between, hydrate in between? Electrons, okay, electrons is good. And what else? Anybody do home electrolytes as well? By putting lemon, salt, and sugar, honey, some does it, right? Okay, yes, yes. Do you know the kind of difference the day you are doing just the plain water and the electrolytes during the training sessions? You feel better, right? Because what happens when we train, when we do a lot of training, you sweat, right? Do you guys sweat? Yeah, you sweat more. When you sweat, is it just the water that was out from the body, or do you think the electrolytes gets lost? Electrolytes, electrolyte loss is there, right? With the sodium loss, the potassium, the chloride, and everything, right? So that's what you have to replenish, okay? If you want to have a good recovery or good hydration, and you have to make sure the muscle recovery happens or muscle soreness doesn't happen, okay? And what do you guys eat when you are about to go for the event, the matches? Do you guys are stressed or nervous that you don't eat, or do you make sure that you guys eat 2.5 hours before the session, before the match, before the event and go? Or just empty stomach?
यहाँ पर ड्यूरिंग द ट्रेनिंग टाइम आप कुछ अपने साथ खाने को लेकर आते हैं कुछ अलग से दाल और उसके अलावा आप कुछ और अलग से लाते हैं फ्रूट्स बनाना और थोड़ा सा जो आपके एनर्जी है ना थोड़ा सा और डालते हैं कुछ डिफरेंट आप अलग से बना के डालते हैं कुछ एफर्ट्स डालते हैं कि आज ट्रेनिंग है 4 घंटा यहाँ टाइम स्पेंड करना है तो आज मैं ये भी कैरी करके आऊँगा या पेरेंट्स कुछ आप अलग से बना कर देते हो बच्चों को कि ट्रेनिंग टाइम पे कोई जूस हो गया कोई बार हो गई प्रोटीन बार हो गई तो और ग्लूकॉन डी और कुछ
Okay, that's nice.
आप बताओ कुछ कह रहे थे ग्लूकॉन डी बनाना पीनट बॉइल्ड चिकपीस कोई बिस्किट कुकीज ऐसे कुछ लाते हो
So basically, after your training sessions, when you finish your 4 hours or 2 hours of the training session, you have to know that you need to replenish your glycogen storage, which means whatever the energy that you have used for the training sessions, you have to replenish it. Okay? If not, what happens? Do you guys know how the muscle building happens? When you train, when you play hard, your muscles break down. So when you keep a carbohydrates or a good source of a protein, it builds up, right? It increases the size of the muscles. That's how you make a recovery. Everybody has to make sure that once the training sessions, don't wait for more than 30 minutes to go home to do whatever the freshen up and wait for whoever at home has to provide. Don't wait for it. Within 30 minutes, you make sure you have a good amount of a mix of protein and carbohydrates, okay? People always think that it has to be protein, but no. In sports athletes, spending a lot of energies in the training sessions, you have to take a good amount of carbohydrates as protein, right? For example, like some of you are doing the whey protein. Well and good, if the training and if the stomach digestions and everything allows the whey protein is good. But those small kids who is not so good with the supplements or to begin with the good amount of protein can have like a sattu, right? Everybody knows sattu, right? Which is easily available, which is a very good source of protein, right? Just with a 2 tablespoons will give you easily 6 grams of protein. Is that good? That can be easily done, right? Or those people who very well tolerated with milk and milk products can just have a glass of milk with a little bit of 1 teaspoon of chocolate powder. That will also really help you with recovery, right? But whatever it is, be the fruit, be apple, banana, or whatever fruit it has to be, just ensure you have it intake repost the video or post the training sessions, okay? And coming towards sleep, how many of you think that the sleep is important for you? Anybody? Anybody is sleep is important or it's not important? I hope nobody spends a screen time of more than 2 hours in a day, right? Or anybody is in front of the screen at 10 o'clock, 10:30 screen. Yeah? Anybody? How much on screen? No, right? You see, what you have to do is, you yourself treat yourself like one of those professional sports athletes, okay? 1 hour before you sleep, just ensure that all the screen, all the blue screen, everything is out. If you want to do a journaling about gratitude, or you want to analyze what the matches has went, how the training sessions went, what was the feedback from the coach, what is it that I need to work on myself, needs to get better. Those gratitude or whatever that analyze you have to do it, but just ensure your sleep as well is very good, okay? Just make sure not lesser than 8 hours. Ideally, it has to be 9 hours, but in case of your school tuitions or more early morning training sessions or late evening training sessions, if you are not able to get it 9 hours, you have to get your 8 hours of the training sessions, right? And
8 hours से कम सोते जाते हैं।
I think rest of them sleep more than 8 hours, right? Sleep is very, very important, okay? The first thing, when I told you about the resting heart rate, right? If anybody has any sources or anything that is a little more available in terms of the watch, you can even keep a track on your sleep quality of it as well, right? But sleep is one thing that everybody feels that, okay, it's fine if I sleep for 5 hours, 6 hours, I'm good with it. No, your body never recovers in 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay? So at least just make sure 8 hours of the sleep has to be there, right? Anybody has any questions? Anybody wants to know what to eat 2 hours before the event or matches? I think everybody has your own diet chart perfectly made, prepared at home, right? Yes, ma'am, but I have some questions. Correct. Apart from the Satu, see, Satu can be done during the training sessions as well. But if your son is training for 3 hours and he has to eat in between, in that case, don't give like a Satu, but give like a banana or dates and dry fruits that are also a very good options. Or a homemade oats laddu with jaggery dates. Those are also very good options. But hydration is a must. So the hydration. Do you guys know about isotonic solutions? Anybody heard about isotonic solutions? No? Nobody knows about isotonic, right? So it is basically, do you guys learn about osmosis and stuff like that in the school? I think a little bit more, no? Okay. So what happens, the isotonic means how our blood mix in the cells, okay? So what happens when you are training, like I said, you guys spend a lot of energy and lost a lot of electrolytes, right? So to simple make electrolytes from home, 500 ml. One thing is the golden rule is 4 hours, then how many liter or how many ml of water you need? Quick calculations. 2 liters, right? So 2 liters of isotonic solution. What is isotonic solution? 6% of carbohydrates has to be there in that 500 ml of water. So to simply make a homemade isotonic solution, take 500 ml of water, put a little bit of lime, 2 tablespoons of sugar. It could be a maple syrup, it could be a honey, it could be a jaggery, or it could sometimes be a white sugar. If at all you are trading very high. Then 3 to 4 dash of salt in 500 ml. That's a homemade isotonic solution. It doesn't have to be very fancy. Okay, just the homemade isotonic is what you get. And if you train for 4 hours, 2 liters of water, you calculate it and based on that you prepare your isotonic solution. Okay, but the golden rule is 500 ml per hour of training sessions. You have to take it more water. Feel free to do that, but should not be less than the 500 ml of water. Okay. Right. That's perfect. If the training sessions is 2 hours before the lunch, then you can definitely give the normal rice, roti, sabzis and all. But if the training session is just 1 hour, he has only just 1 hour, then just make sure to quantity a little bit lesser. And give him a lot of dry fruits, banana, you can give it. Just 45 minutes now, you can give a normal oatmeal, oats cooking water. Because try and avoid milk and milk products before they are likely to disturb the digestive issues. So milk, you would want to give the sessions, poster training sessions, just 1 glass of milk. If his digestion works very well in terms of milk and milk products, that would be good. But the oats are good, banana are good, or just the oats, simple oats, better cake are good, or just the normal oats, china can be done. That would be a little bit more lighter in terms of the dal, roti, sabzi, all of them. So, yes.
जैसे किसी को डाउट है हाइड्रेशन से रिलेटेड, प्री वर्कआउट, पोस्ट वर्कआउट से रिलेटेड,
Post workout, okay. I told you about post workout to be a combination of carbohydrates and proteins, right? What are the carbohydrate sources? It could be, for example, let's say you are taking a whey protein. Maybe a 2 tablespoons of the oats can be just put in there, or maybe along with 1 banana you can do that, or whenever the season of the sweet potatoes. That's a very big superfood. So you can add on boiled or just a roasted sweet potato can be done. Or if it is the dinner time or lunchtime, just go have the basmati white rice, very good for recovery. Not necessarily that people avoid rice because they feel that I eat the rice. No, you can do that. Just if it is going to be the main meal kind, then you can just go for lunch, dinner can be done. Or if it is like in the morning, mid-morning, you are done with your workout, you can just go for a protein. It could be milk, it could be a whey protein, it could be a sattu, it could be a simple protein milk as well, where you put a little bit more of the sattu. If you are a non-vegetarian, you can go for 2 whole eggs, which you will easily get 12 grams of proteins. So that can be done. Okay. Those definitely can be 1 or 2 superfoods. It's not very too heavy for you, but it exactly helps you to get a good amount of recovery, glycogen storage. Okay. Any other questions?
बेसिकली शॉन मेंट टू से इससे प्रोटीन इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, कुछ भी कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स का प्रोटीन के बाद या सत्तू के बाद आप ले सकते हो, प्लीज ऐड करें अपने प्रोटीन के साथ सो दैट रिकवरी बेटर हो जाए.
Any other questions? Anybody wants to know one more thing? Or you guys have enough knowledge about it already? Anybody wants to know one more important Yeah? Okay.
Can like peanut butter with bread, this can be whole wheat bread can be there. Okay. Sweet potato chaat, sweet corn chaat, something like this.
आपका स्टमक खराब होने के चांसेस आते हैं ईट का टाइम है अगर आप प्रोटीन लें तो थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा बाइक ले लेके खा सकते हैं जैसे सैंडविच हो गया है ना आप पीनट बटर सैंडविच ले सकते हो कोई कैप्टन बिस्किट हो गया ब्रेड विदाउट
ब्रेड चाहिए और बहुत सारे बोलते हैं ब्रेड मत खाओ मेरे भाई
Each match में stomach distress होता है तो आप snack लो।
खाई दो खाएंगे
I have one question. Are you all disciplined as a sports athlete? Are you all very who are all a fan of Virat? Okay, I can see it in here and there now. Which are now? Okay, there as well.
देश में
How many for Virat? How many for Rohit Sharma? A little less for Rohit Sharma. Do you guys think he is disciplined or not? Okay, what is the first thing you think you would have to eat? Discipline, right? Discipline in what? In everything. The sleep, be it the nutrition, be it the way he trains, be it the way he performs, right? He's very, very disciplined. How many of you guys take your own back and come here? Or most of you guys, your mom, your dad, or your anybody uncle can, whoever is at home provides you the drinks, pack your bag. You just have to take it and come. Or how many of you pack your own bags? Okay, nice. Okay, there's a lot. I can see that. Okay, that's good. A lot of you, right? A lot of starting from a very young age. I have a client who is just 5 years old, started to train for tennis. And she makes sure she prepared her water bottle. She makes sure she has the towel. She makes sure she has all the needed stuff in the back early in the morning. She has to come from Gurgaon to City Fort. You guys all know from City Fort, right? Such a small young girl. The parents didn't say anything that you should not have gone for tennis. You should play cricket. You should do that. No, the parents are like, okay, how whichever sports you want to play, you do that. But you have to take responsibility. And such a 5 young, small child, she does that. That kind of discipline you guys should also follow, right? And where the discipline happens? Does it happen in the training area, or does it happen from home? Does it start from home? Start from home, right? So be early in the morning, be late in the evening. Whether you are tired or not tired, you have to be responsible enough to clean your stuff, take out your bags, prepare for the next day. Okay? That kind of a discipline you should start bringing as a professional sports athletes, right? And something that Virat does is something that Virat only does it every day is what I want to tell you. Okay? What do you think he does it? I know because he takes a nutrition plan with us. So I'm going to tell this one secret to you all. So what he does is a glass of beetroot juice. Everybody loves beetroot or everybody hates beetroot? All are okay with it? What does beetroot does to your body?
पहले दिन की शुरुआत जब ये जूस से करते हैं तो कुछ
Okay, that's one good answer.
It is good for recovery. Good for recovery.
Okay, and yes. Sorry? That it increases the blood. Right. Okay. So what it does is the beetroot has a nitric oxide. Okay, that's the active compound which increases your lung capacity. Okay, do you need a high good lung capacity? Right. You need it, right? In order to perform endurance or for that matter, even the power oxygen, you need a good lung capacity. So this nitric oxide presence in the beetroot helps increase the lung capacity. That way you perform it better, your recovery gets better, and as I mentioned, it increases the blood, it purifies the blood. Okay? So those are the simple, you don't have to be very fancy in terms of following the nutrition plan. Just whatever is available, seasonal also really helps. You just have to be a little more strategic approach. You have to do a strategic approach in terms of how you prepare a plan for yourself. Okay, anybody? Any questions? Or we are good? Discipline. Number one, set your sleep routine. Set it in such a way that I'm going to sleep by 10 o'clock. Don't say I'll try and sleep by 10 o'clock. I'll sleep by 10 o'clock, I'll wake up by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, so that I get my enough of 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep. Whether you have to work, what happens in our Indian kids? Tomorrow is my defense. I'm going to wake up at 9 o'clock, I'll sleep by 12 o'clock, I'll wake up by 9 o'clock. Or do that as a professional sports athlete, okay? Set your sleep and slowly start doing in terms of some kids wake up at 7 o'clock to have the training sessions at 7:30. Because that kids knows that everything will be prepared by then when he was about to leave. Wake up 1 hour much prior before your sessions, relax yourself, make sure you are calm, you are giving enough time for yourself. No hurry to be done, okay? So first thing is set your sleep, make sure your workout routine, everything is set, or meals should be on time. You make sure that you are not doing something which is not good for your body. Have to literally check what you have to do inside your mouth, right? The healthy eating habits has to come into place. But like I said, I would suggest to start with your sleep routine first. Okay? Anybody else?
So basically, हमें discipline का first step जो शॉन ने बताया वो है sleep. Get until आप 8 to 9 hours of sleep लेते हो तो आपकी energy track करेगा और recovery भी हो जाएगा. Okay? Any other question? At least 1 hour before sleeping, 1 to 2 hours before sleeping, आप अपना mobile room के बाहर रखो. ठीक है? No blue light, no screen light. ठीक है?
बना सकते हो, आप अपना ड्यूरिंग का सेशन यहाँ पे ला सकते हो। बहुत जल्दी से कवर कर लिया, ये तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं थक रहा। कभी ऑब्जर्व करें कि मैं क्यों बहुत जल्दी थक जाता हूँ। कुछ तो डिफरेंस होगा कि सारा बहुत अच्छा डिसिप्लिन मेरे खाना खा रहा है, बहुत टाइम से प्री वर्कआउट का इशू मुझे लेकर खा के आ रहा है, या घर जाके एक प्रॉपर एक मील ले रहा है ना। तो ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट करती है आपके एनर्जी लेवल पे, आपके परफॉर्मेंस पे, आपके स्टैमिना पे, आपके मसल पे। तो आपके डाइट की आपकी
everybody just takes it for granted. Whatever the coach says, you have to work on a little bit on your endurance, no problem. You still need to sleep with it. Anybody takes it when back home, just analyze yourself, or nobody does that. आप में से कोई कोच के फीडबैक पे काम करता है? या कोई नहीं करता? आप करते हो? Everybody does this, right? Whatever it is, in a negative format, in a positive format, there's nothing to be taken as a negative feedback from your end. Just go back home, go analyze yourself, what the coach has mentioned, what I need to get better. Right? It's a very, 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 very good feedback you have to do. Okay, so along with the fitness, along with the good nutrition, or one thing I will also mention is, since you guys are professional athletes, once a year try and go for a blood test. Okay, generally your blood tests are a little bit haywire compared to a normal individual because of the nature of your training sessions, exposed to the environment, the pollution, the training sessions in every day. So just tell your parents get once a year a blood test. It doesn't have to be 2 times in a year. But just once a year, check. You will, through the blood reports, you will get to know whether your inflammatory markers are high, whether your iron levels are low or in a good range. What happens when your iron levels get low? You get, your energy level gets lower and lower, right? So the blood reports, which includes your calcium, your vitamin, at the growing age, everybody needs vitamin D, calcium, also for the recovery, very much needed. So once a year, you try and ask your mom that to get your blood work done as well, right? And just additionally, so like I said in the beginning, our clinic is enchanting located. It's absolutely a complimentary for you. Just come in 15-20 minutes, come and get your body assessment. Okay, and if you want to understand a little more about how customized we could be in terms of the diet, come in and have a discussion with us. Okay, because the diet, nutrition is the only subject that doesn't have right or wrong answer. What good for you may not be good for you, right? Because of the digestive, because of the biomedical. Okay, so just feel free to us and come get your body assessment done. Okay.
इसको भी यहाँ पर डिस्कशन सबके सामने नहीं कर रहे हैं तो हम लोगों का कंसल्टेशन फ्री है ओके फैमिली निकेतन में क्लिनिक है जिसको भी कुछ भी डिस्कस करना है अपने टाइम से इसकी फील्ड से रिलेटेड आप आ सकते हो ओके और हम लोग बॉडी कॉम्पोजिशन भी करते हैं जिसमें आपका फैट मास्कुलर परसेंटेज हाइट वेट सब कुछ हम आपको डिसाइड रैंडमली कैसा होना चाहिए आइडियली और अभी आपका क्या करंट सिचुएशन है
Okay, so I told you guys about the isotonic solution, right? Which you can be simple, made at home as well. The electron is good, the ORS is good, but you guys know the ORS is made for those people who has a diarrhea or who has a loose motion, right? It's not actually meant for a for a professional athletes, okay? So the simple homemade I told you, and we also do have a isotonic solution, which is electrolytes, all the one chains. This is what we also give you a sample packet. You try it maybe tomorrow training sessions, where you have to put 2 tablespoons in 500 ml. You don't need to put salt because it's already a part of it. Okay, you can try that as well, but that's a 6% solution of carbohydrates, which exactly works like how the plants work in the cells. Okay. Thank you so much for all of you.